Everybody, I'm Joe. We're talking about the Marvel Multiverse game today. A little bit of a break from building characters, something we've done the last few weeks. And I want to talk about a couple gaps in the game if you are building characters, or if you're looking for other things to add to the feedback survey for Marvel about things that need to be expanded inside of this game. I want to talk about power sets that are underwhelming. Now, please note for everybody watching, this is as of rules update 1.3. If in the future, as always, if there are updates or of course changes when the core rulebook comes out this summer, then we might need to revamp what we say here. But for right now, we're talking about power sets in the game that are just missing something or are underwhelming in some way. Of course, one of the most important aspects of the Marvel Multiverse game is the ability to build the character that you want to play. And even if a power set has limitations, if it fits the idea you want to bring to the table, then you should use it. My point in this video is to take a look at power sets and to determine if they just aren't living up to other power sets or if they're not living up to the expectation that we might have on them. I've been building a lot of characters for this channel, for videos that are going to be coming out and for my own home game, and there are some things I have found that just aren't what I am hoping for. All right, so the first power that is underwhelming, and I'm sorry to say this, is the Spider Powers power set. This is really disappointing to say because if you pick up the original playtest rulebook, the example character built at the very beginning is Spider-Man. And putting Spider-Man and the ability to build him and play him in your own home game has been part of the art and the documents that Marvel has been releasing. And on the surface, the Spider Powers power set seems to have a lot going for it. First, a lot of the abilities have no prerequisite. Things like Spider Strike, Venom Blast, Web Crawling, these have no prerequisite. You can get into web casting right away at rank 1, and by rank 2 you can pick up web slinging, web gliding, web grappling, or web grabbing, sorry. So you can pick up a lot of stuff early on. It's front loaded, which we love in a power set. It means that you can pick up this as a second power set later on in a character's career. So there's really cool and thematic things. You can pick them up at early ranks. So why is it disappointing? Well, if we take a look at your web grabbing and web trapping abilities, all these are agility-based attack rolls that you make. And so you would think that would be bumping up the agility of this character. And it goes a little bit farther because your web gliding and your web slinging speeds are all based around modifications of your regular moving speed. Now, regular movement speed is entirely predicated on your agility. For those who don't know, when you were calculating speed, an average sized character gets 25 feet of move speed without any other additional effects or abilities added in. And for every 5 points of agility you take on top of that, you get an additional 5 feet of move speed, which is great. And so we want a character that's fast and nimble. The abilities that you have are based around agility, and it also feels thematically appropriate. So what is the ability to ramp damage that is added inside of this power set? It's the super strong powers. Now, little caveat for you here, if you are looking at the original playtest material, it's listed as Mighty 1, 2, 3, and 4. These were changed in Rules Errata to being called Super Strong 1, 2, 3, and 4, but these increase your melee score, or really they increase your melee cap. And this is telling you that for you to do damage as a character with the Spider Powers power set, you're expected to be making melee-based attacks. And that just doesn't move together all that well. What we really want with a character like this is to not increase our melee score, but to bump our agility and to use agility for our attacks. But it's not part of the power set. Now you might say, when the playtest rulebook was written, that the agility powers were not yet part of the full array of powers. They were added in Rules Errata, which is true. But that means we really need this power set to be reworked in some way so that we have a natural ability to increase your damage output within the power set. Because if we don't, then you need to take the Spider Powers power set and you need to combine it with the Martial Arts power set in order to increase damage as well as all of your web-based abilities. All right, what is the second power set that just is underwhelming? And it's Battlesuit. I just don't love it. I've been trying to build a couple characters around the Battlesuit, and it doesn't give you a lot. It gives you the armor abilities, which are going to do damage reduction, which is great. Don't get me wrong. That's wonderful. Then it has the super strong powers, which that's a nice set. We've got lots of ways of taking them, but this just gives you another. And then it gives you very little else. It gives you in the playtest rulebook a power called Effect Resistance, which was a way of reducing damage again, but that power has been removed from the game in a rules errata. We have Lock On, which is a power you take just to give you an edge on an attack. Spoiler alert, don't take this power. What you want to take instead is a trait that is called Signature Attack, which automatically grants you an edge on a particular power or attack that you make. And now you can have an edge without spending one of your powers to do so. What else does it give you? Well, it gives you Extended Reach, which is nice. I like Extended Reach, but Extended Reach feels more appropriate on a melee-based attack rather than ranged. And if we're building a battlesuit, don't we want to have ranged-based attacks? Yes, and so that power kind of goes down. And then of course, this power set gives us Stilt Steps, which is a nice little utility power, but it's nothing to write home about. Otherwise, you have Titanic Frame, and Titanic Frame makes you physically larger and grants you abilities to push, pull, and carry objects at a larger size. And that's nice, but Titanic Frame immediately makes you that size rather than giving you the capacity of someone that is a larger size. This is just underwhelming, and for Battlesuit to really operate effectively, we need to take Flight, which is a utility power, so you can take it, and we need to have attacks that are ranged. So you have to take additional power sets in order for Battlesuit to work. Battlesuit needs to have a ranged-based energy type attack that is built in. So if we were to just add into the power set the energy beam, energy wave powers, you would not have to go into the energy control power set to make this work appropriately. As it is, it just doesn't do very much for us. So the third power set that's just underwhelming is the Cybernetics power set. And I'm very sad to say this because I love the idea of the Cybernetics power set. I want this to be the core of a build for me and for something that I want to create. Because when you think about the Cybernetics power set, you're thinking about a cyborg. You're thinking about something that is half man and half machine. So what are we looking for? I want the ability to interface with other machines that are around me. I want to have nanobots that I can control. I want to have drone strikes, a machine that comes off of me that's a drone that I can send to attack people at a distance. And you get none of this in the Cybernetics power set. You get the armor powers. Okay, fine, those are cool. You do get augmented intelligence and augmented reflexes, which are really neat powers. They give you something fun to play with. Outside of that, you get Lock On, and I've already spoken about how I don't like that power very much. You get the super strong powers, which, okay, and you get Reinforced Skeleton. Reinforced Skeleton is kind of a bummer because it is a damage reduction power, but remember, damage reduction does not stack, so you can't take it with the armor powers. They don't interact with each other. This is just really disappointing. It doesn't give you any offensively or utility-based abilities that you're really looking for. It's very underwhelming. Basically, this is an easy way to get a couple levels of an armor power, and that's almost about it. All right, so those are my 3 picks for the 3 power sets that are underwhelming in Marvel Multiverse. I hope they get addressed and really buffed up by the time the full game launches this summer. Have you played one of these and felt that you needed to go into an additional power set in order to round out your character? Let me know. As always, YouTube is literally made out of buttons, and I hope you press some of them, and I'll see you next time. All right, peace.